Mine popped right up tonight for a change.
City Hall, all lowercase?
C Hall. C Hall. Oh, please don't do
Capital C?
that. Nope. All lowercase. Facebook is not working, but YouTube is working. So YouTube is working. Facebook isn't. I'm gonna have to share. I'm gonna share.
This meeting to order.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Fry.
Present.
Keating.
Present.
Snelling.
Present.
Bikeman.
Present.
Garacki.
Present.
Price. Here. Barons.
Here.
From. Here. 8-0.
Okay, first up, we have the approval of the minutes for the regular meeting on October 10th.
Move to approve minutes of October 10th, 2022 as written.
Second.
Okay, any discussion, changes? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, there we go. Next up, we have public comment. Is anybody here for 5-minute public comment? Yes.
Okay. Am I speaking on that thing or?
Put the mic.
It's
You
on.
put the mic
Put the
down
mic
to
to
your
you.
face. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, okay. Okay, I just wanted to say that it's been almost 2 years since Mother Nature caused a disaster at the Kester House. And it's been 2 weeks now since Austin said that getting heat in the place is a priority. I would like to ask what that means to all of you and to Austin. You repeated priority about 5 times in that meeting.
Right.
And it's been 2 weeks and we don't have heat.
Right. We did the very next couple of days, worked on getting the rest of the, well, not the next couple of days. We got the radiators up there. Now, we are waiting for our contractor to get back. And that's our linchpin right there. Yes, it is a priority, and we want to get it up and running. We don't have somebody that can work on boilers in our staff. And we've discussed that with the contractor. He needs and according to him, he needs the second person to come in and help him with it. I don't know how he's operating, but we've gotten what he needs in there to get it taken care of.
I was told this week that the second person was in harvest. I don't think there was any harvesting done today, and probably not tomorrow. And I don't think there was any work done in the Kester House today.
I can't vouch for the contractor. We have been on top of him every week to get it, and he gave us his reasoning.
Can I ask who the contractor is?
Charlie Ohm.
Okay.
So you don't take any responsibility for the contractor that you contracted to fix it? And 2 years ago, it's
I will take responsibility for it not getting done as fast as it could have been, but I can't order him to do something on demand.
Is there no one else in the region, the whole region, that could do that?
We searched, when it first came about, we searched for people who wanted to or could work on boilers, and the only one that popped up was Charlie, and he reluctantly took the job. It was a challenge. We went, not just here, we went further out. And the only person to get on the list was Charlie.
Okay. Well, I just hope you will all tell me what a priority means after 2 years. Is it meaningful to you?
It should
Sorry.
have been done a while ago.
It
say-
should
and
have. I mean, it's frustrating
it
because
is
you can't get them to
Frustrating,
come
and
in.
it's,
But the frustrating part is we had to get the boilers up there first.
yeah.
So, if there's a couple of us that might be able to twist his arm and get him going on that, so if the administrator allow a couple of us to talk to him,
Or maybe we could talk to the Boilermakers Union and see if they got somebody that'd work on it.
well, maybe that's it. You also gotta remember the scope of the project, to bring that type of group of people in here. So,
I'm very aware of what they do and how they do it.
yeah,
Very aware.
understood.
I rebuilt 3 boilers down south with them. My job to sit there and hang with them.
Maybe we
Does he
could
not
put-
want to do the job? Is that, or he just doesn't have time, or?
He's probably busy. I mean, this is a
Just
busy
like
time of
everyone
year
else is.
for.
I don't,
The weather last week didn't help either, because I'm sure he was getting a lot of furnace calls like
Yeah.
we all were.
Well, I'll ask the question, are we not paying enough? I mean, because there's always an amount of money to get to the top of the list, am I wrong?
I would imagine that it's paying I mean, it's an insurance job and it's an odd enough thing that not many people, I'm assuming that it's making money on it.
Here we back to this deal again. This should have been a one-stop and done job. Whoever bid it should have been responsible for putting them in, taking them out. We shouldn't have had a dime to do with it, as in the city crews moving them or anything. That should have been all on the contractor.
But do we know the original scope of the project, Brian, is what I'm asking? I mean, did we agree that, for this price, we'll take it out, send them up somewhere, and I know, I'm gonna kinda guess that we didn't because there were some other hands involved in the cookie jar on that thing.
I thought that the understanding was that it was supposed to get repaired, whatever that took, and I don't remember stating that the city employee, I mean, they got involved in it just because of necessity, but I don't think that originally was the scope that they were supposed to do that.
I think Charlie needed the help and couldn't do it on
It
that
really
kind
is a
of stuff.
difficult project.
It is.
I mean, those
And
things
he's
are heavy, nobody messes
alone.
with those
Yep.
anymore. I wouldn't wanna touch it, it's, nobody messes with boilers like that anymore. I mean, they still have boiler radiator systems, but they don't use big cast iron. And on
We
top
had
of
to
that,
find
those
them
are
and
odd
then
ones
paint
that
them.
I've never seen any place besides that, cause they're curved in those bay windows, and, I mean, it's not as easy just getting the phone book and calling any contractor, it's just odd stuff.
Well,
Every time it's odd,
my
it
5
takes
minutes
time.
is probably up, but please keep it a priority.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else have a 5-minute public comment? Yes?
We're tearing that trailer house down on 1507 South Street.
You are who? Name, please.
Cindy Snyder.
Say that again?
Cindy Snyder. Cindy's S-I-N-D-Y.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And like I said, we're demolishing that trailer house that was at 1507 South Street. You guys granted us a grant. And I need to know if I can get an extension on that for at least a month or 2 to finish it. We're almost all done. We got to finish getting the trailer, the floor off the trailer, and the trailer moved and the plumbing capped off. And then we're done with it.
Well, I mean, it looks like you're definitely making some progress on it. So,
Like I said, that's all we got left is to clean the floor off, take the floor and insulation off, and get the trailer out of there. There's a lady that used to live in that trailer when she was a little girl that wants it back, and they're trying to find something to pull it with.
Okay.
Right now, they're trying to find something to pull it with. Told her if she can move it, she can have it.
Okay.
But all we gotta do is finish getting it cleaned up and everything, and getting the plumbing capped off, and the plumber in Frankfurt is supposed to be doing that. But that's what I'm asking.
Well, materials, I mean, if they're saving,
I didn't know if the running gear could, because this is.
This is the first time you've been in for an extension on it?
Yes,
trailers
it
and
is.
stuff out of them and all kinds of
And
stuff.
how long are you asking for again?
2 months.
No, 30 days.
30 days?
30 days.
30 days.
Okay.
30 days is what we did for the
Yep.
last
Yep.
person.
Yeah.
wasn't it?
30 days from
Okay.
today, is that
30 days
correct?
from today.
Okay.
A motion, please?
I move, give them 30 days.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Anybody else here for 5-minute public comment? Business discussion items. First up is, Black Squirrel Night with Stacy Mayer.
Good evening. I'm just here this evening to request some help from the city. We are having Black Squirrel Night on the 27th of this week, and it's going to be a much scaled-down version, smaller than it has before, due to everything happening on Saturday. So I'm asking if we could barricade the streets on Broadway from 10th down to the 7th Street corridor for the trunk or treat and the costume contest to take place.
Move to approve the request.
Second.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you,
Thank you.
and thank you for all of your support for Saturday. I think it was a big success.
Next we have Matt with the JAG grant.
Good evening. How's everybody doing this evening?
Good, you, sir?
Good, thank you so much. I won't take up much of your time, I promise. Here this evening to let you know that on October 12th, we were recognized as receiving a grant from the Kansas Criminal Justice Coordinating Council through AG Derek Schmidt in the amount of $46,368. I attached all the documentation to the grant agenda. I'd be happy to answer any questions you have, but I'd ask for your approval to accept that grant formally and then for a few follow-up purchases if that grant is accepted by you this evening.
Matt, are there any matching funds?
No, sir.
Okay,
Nope,
thank you.
100%.
Right, somebody want to make a motion?
Move to approve the JAG grant.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Veto.
Thank you. I'd like to ask for 3 purchases. Would you prefer I list them separately or all in one?
Separately, please.
Okay. I'd ask for approval to purchase 3 WatchGuard in-car camera systems from Motorola Solutions in the amount of $19,230. The reasons we're asking for those specific cameras is they tie into our current system. Those are the ones that we have in our vehicles already. We use that server to send our videos electronically to the appropriate prosecutors, and so it ties into our current system.
That's 3 cameras?
Yep, 3 in-car camera systems for a total of $19,230, 100% paid by the JAG grant.
Move to approve the in-car camera for the police vehicles in the amount of $19,230.
Second.
Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Veto.
Thank you. My next request is through Stalker Radar, be for the purchase of 3 in-car mobile radar units from Stalker Radar in the amount of $9,612. Again, those are the same brand and model that we use in all of our other patrol vehicles, and so it just makes sense to stay with them. Less training, less hassle, and everything else. So 3 Stalker radar units in the amount of $9,612.
Move to approve the purchase of the Stalker radio units for $9,612.
Second.
Okay. Any further discussion?
One question I have, are these are for new patrol vehicles?
They are, yes, sir. They're for the 2022 Ford that just came in at the end of September, and then the 2 that we will purchase in 2023.
I don't know what the rest of the council feels, but maybe in the future, if that was included when we decide to buy a new patrol vehicle, might be a thought. Just a thought.
Yeah, I mean,
But other than that, I mean, I definitely agree with the purchase.
Just for Michael, you mean to outfit those with all this equipment?
At least give a budgetary cost when we decide to purchase the vehicles,
Oh, sure.
I guess is what I'm thinking.
all right, any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 8-0.
Thank you. And the last request will be through KCOM Radios out of Manhattan, be to purchase 3 mobile in-car radios. Again, 100% supported through the JAG grant. The amount of $17,526.84.
Move to approve the request for KCOM Inc. out of Manhattan for the radios for cars in the amount of $17,526.84.
Second.
Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 8-0.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thanks, Matt.
Thank you.
Okay, we don't have any notices and hearings. Next up, we have the consent agenda.
Move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Okay, any discussion about any items on there? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 8-0. Next, we have appropriations ordinance number 3783.
Move to approve appropriation ordinance 3783 in the amount of $373,872.19.
Second.
Okay. Any further discussion? Roll call?
Fry,
Yes.
Keating,
Yes.
Snellings,
Yes.
Bikeman,
Yes.
Garacki,
Yes.
Price. Yes. Behrens,
Yes.
Crum,
Yes.
8-0.
Okay. Next, Austin with the staff reports.
Okay, I didn't have anything listed, but I do want to bring up in your info packet, a proposed, new personnel handbook. We haven't fully updated our handbook since 2012, so this is, overdue. A lot of it is, just updating with the times, certain policies that are, so like our, what was the main one? Like our sexual harassment policy. We updated that for legal reasons, to match, what people are, seeing around. And then, just some other things that just need to be updated. I do have a few things in there, that, they're not, like, we'd love it if you approved all of it, but it's up for discussion. Just like all this is up for discussion. We're not, saying this has to be verbatim in here. But one thing in particular, we were looking at, holidays, possibly to add to our list. Those are in red. Again, I won't turn them down if you approve them all, but we were wanting you to have a discussion and make your determination on that, whether we want none or one or all, to get done. So that's one of the main things. We left them in red, the ones we don't already have. And in fact, one of them that is in red, probably should have been a holiday a long time ago since it is in ordinance. Black Squirrel Night is an ordinance that we're supposed to get that off. I haven't seen that since I've been here, and it's probably never happened. But it's actually one of the holidays that's written in our code books. So Beyond that, read through it. We don't need it next week. We don't need it the week after that. In fact, we're optimistic if we get a final version by beginning of 2023. We hope to bring this back at the end of November. Please read through it. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. So just please take your time, look through that. We want to get it updated and get it taken care of. Our department heads went through it. I went through it. It's been a year in the making to get this done. It was a challenge, and I even updated after our last league conference. Updated more things because we didn't know about all that. So that's all on that one. So if you have any questions right now about the policy handbook, I'll take them, but I would appreciate it if you look through that. The last thing, I wanted to thank those who came out and served donuts. There was a slow trickle of folks to take donuts. They did not eat all of our donuts. If you want some donuts, I brought gallon bags for you to take some home. There's some sitting right out there. They're good donuts. We had them this morning, handing them out to everybody who would say the word donut. And so if you want some chocolate donuts, they are really good donuts.
And we did find out from, I think it was Iola Henry.
Is that, she worked
There
here?
you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
He couldn't come up with the
Yeah.
name.
I think that's who it was, because she came up and I said something about they were all chocolate this year because that's what they were, the first black squirrel. And she says, oh no, I was there, and they were cake donuts with black walnut flavoring. And she said, and I have the recipe.
So that, because we were looking for the recipe, but yeah, so we do need that.
So I figured for the 51st anniversary, we could have legit chocolate
Black walnut.
black walnut donuts.
I wouldn't know how that would even taste.
I don't
We're
know.
gonna
I mean,
find
I would
out.
like it with the nuts in it, but
Yeah.
we could probably get Tammy to whip us up some and see what they taste like. Before we go making too many dozen.
Yeah. But other than that, Black Squirrel Day went really well, and so that was a great time. So,
It's a huge crowd downtown.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
I had some people, because I talked to people when they got donuts, if I didn't know them, and some people from Illinois or Indiana that came.
Oh, wow.
Well, you had the only Illinois people who they had the float in, the white
Missouri.
squirrel. Only Illinois.
Oh,
is
I thought they
white
came out of Missouri.
I can't remember, I can't
paper
remember
said.
where they were from, but
That's
they
the paper
said, it's the
lady.
first time we
Yeah.
just came here for this.
Because the white
squirrels, yeah.
squirrels.
Yep, right, there are some in Illinois, yeah, but I thought those people came out of Missouri, they chase squirrels.
Yeah. Anyways,
Well, there's two groups, yeah, there was the squirrel chasers.
The squirrel, yeah, there were the squirrel chasers, that's what I remembered.
Which is just kinda odd.
Yeah.
But fun.
Yeah.
okay. That's all I had, Jason.
All right. Well, we will move on to the standing committee reports. First up, we have street.
I did put, some notes from the street committee, and just for you guys to read, and I wasn't there. I'll let those who were at the meeting, talk about it if you want to bring up anything, or, go over what that discussion was about on the 7th Street corridor.
You want me to?
I think it was a great opportunity to get the other affected groups together, because whatever we do, and we're not gonna be able to give everybody their wish list, but if we come up with a good plan, those are our cheerleaders in the community.
Yeah,
to-
they are.
To kinda help push a project. I was very glad to hear that, there was a very major concern with the drainage going up this way. I liked hearing that everybody's applicable to an idea of a phase project over, if it's 3 years, 5 years, great, it doesn't matter. But just have a good solid plan in place, and I personally think it would help us tremendously getting the funding to do a project and to really make something that would make this part of downtown look great. There was some talk about, well, we gotta find a place to park trucks. I think we could find a lot of places to park trucks over time, so. But I put some very brief notes together that Austin handed out, and the idea is that CES will give us a proposal, strictly a proposal, at the November 21st meeting, I believe it is, right? Is that the correct?
I believe that sounds right.
28th.
28th, yeah, 28th, I'm sorry, I keep looking at the.
Well, if you told them
I go
21st,
by
they'll have it in-
every other
they'll have it in
week.
time.
Yeah.
They'll have it in time.
But just strictly, just a proposal, to allow all the groups involved, the city, the trails, the depot group, and other concerned citizens. The idea of the proposal is everybody gets together, what do you want, what do you want? Well, this is what you can have. And then that's what the proposal, that's what he's proposing, is to do something like that. And it, honestly, and I'm sorry, Austin, it might take a little bit off of your plate. And if the council so chooses to move forward with it, I think if we get everybody involved in it, it'd be a great opportunity to see something to fruition. And I did learn that the depot group does not want that steam engine.
I think we knew that.
They were adamant.
They were very adamant about it.
And the caboose,
The caboose is okay, but
the engine.
And the reason for that is that they just described that, one, the upkeep on that, two, the maintenance of it, the fact that it has to be surrounded by the safety cage. They want something a little bit more aesthetic and interactive, as they said. Like with the caboose, they could possibly have something inside that would be an interactive, like, learning experience about the the rails, and so yeah, I don't think it really had anything to do with the fact that they didn't want it for.
the challenge with that steam engine is 30 years ago, when I was a kid, you didn't have to put a fence around it.
Yeah.
And your parents paid attention when you were playing on it. Now, we don't have that luxury.
Doing dangerous things
I
carefully.
will say, when I was doing research on that locomotive, they installed it, let's say March. May, they had graffiti on it,
Yep.
so.
I remember
it
helping
wa-
a
yeah.
group paint it when I was out of high school.
I feel like when I was in high school, they still never had a fence around it.
No.
Probably not.
It did.
And kids would play on it, but now, I mean, and it's just the times, I would love to just have it open and let kids play on it. That's what would have been fun for me, I can assure you.
Just like the tank at Lions Park. I mean, you used
Yeah, they climb all over that
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Well, it used to have a ladder.
It used to have a ladder.
to have a ladder and you could get up. Now takes a,
But overall, I think the from the comments that I got from people that showed up to the meeting after the fact, in this last week, they really enjoyed at least speaking their mind. Whether, it depends on the direction that we go as a city, but they enjoyed the chance to be there. So Rob will have that report or proposal for you, or for us. We do want to get together with that group again, late November, and just kind of say, hey, this is where we're at, type of thing.
Previous to the report, or
Well, I think that
Need to
it would be
set that.
nice that if Rob had a rough draft the week before our council meeting in Austin, I'm looking at you, that we could kind of maybe know, I'm not worried about putting dollars on there, but just his thought process. And kind of present it to that group that showed up, because the group that showed up was they had a strong interest in it. And those are the cheerleaders for this kind of project. So, but we can hash that out at the next meeting. So,
And I will say, I think it's important that we continue to have meetings like this to get, everybody with vested interest in these things at the table, to just hear them out, hear what they have to say, and just see what we can do. But yeah, I think it was a very positive experience, very positive meeting with everybody involved, so.
And you're always gonna have your naysayers, and you just take them for the grain of salt, and then you move on, so. That's all I got.
Okay.
Unless you do. Evan?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
All right, anything else on the street then?
Yeah. How we come with CES on our, ADA sidewalks? Have we ever got that
They
from them yet?
just completed those plans last week.
And that was a project that was supposed to be done this year, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yep,
So we're a year behind again.
yep,
And we're a year behind on the sewer project on the highway,
yes.
again.
Where are we
Do
at
we have
on,
too much going CES's way? Do we need to? I don't know.
wasn't,
I will say we asked while we were going around the vendors, at the leak, I asked, pointedly, how all the other engineers were doing, cause I know BG's swamped. They can't get a report out. CES is swamped. They can't get our projects done.
They're hurting our progress,
Right.
and what we need to get done in our community.
And I asked those outside, and I mean, the ones I would go to, they're not doing any better. I mean, it's not, I'm not trying to make an excuse for anybody, but it's not a good outlook right now for projects. I wanted it's, again, not trying to make excuses, but I don't think it would have fared any better, anywhere else.
It's just the times when they can't hire people to help.
Yeah.
I just, I don't know if we're planning too much ahead. Do we need to plan further ahead on these projects?
I mean, we probably got pretty good response from in the past, and we're just seeing the drawback where now we're trying to get that plan ahead, and it's great. Now we're just seeing it's dragging because there is not a workforce out there to get it taken care of. And I don't know how to fix that. I mean, obviously, we can't fix that.
Well, I know,
But
it
we
was really
should-
bad when we have the money budgeted this year
yeah,
coming out of our budget, It's not like we carry it over to next year and still
right.
run the same projects out of that.
So we could counteract it, and starting next year, we just get plans for 2 projects in advance, or just start them going on 2 projects, and have them ready to go for 2024, 2025 sort of
sometimes
thing.
though, if you get too far ahead, then,
Things
you have an
change.
election, you get different council members and you
Well,
could-
I disagree.
Well, I'm just saying, you could do
know-
engineering for a project and then
Yeah.
not do it, and then you're
well,
just spending money on engineering. If you
globally-
get- I'm talking if you get
Yeah.
2 years out.
But
or
even globally, the labor market is so stressed right now. We have things that in the past, and I'm speaking just from my personal experience at work, things in the past that you could put on order 6 months out and get it. Now you're looking at 18 months, 24 months. And it's anywhere from a gear to a $2 million piece of equipment.
Yeah.
So the world's changing right now, and we all have to learn to adapt to that. And so I think the most forward thinking that you can do as far out is what we need to be doing now. If you get a proposal and decide to do something and budget it, doesn't mean when the time comes to sign the contract, you have to do it. Because they're not gonna force you to make that commitment. But if we have a good plan in place when we finally make that commitment, then we have a better chance of moving forward with things in a timely manner. But, and I'll let you speak to that. You're in the supply chain a little bit.
You're not wrong,
Okay.
But,
So I think we would be in the same situation regardless of whichever engineer we went. We might have gotten a little bit faster if we split up all the projects, but maybe not by much. Because everybody outside of our local, I mean, we heaped onto them. We did. They did accept it, but I mean but it's still what it is. we will have a big project for ADA next year. I mean, we had them do quite a bit, all of Alston, from over there, all the way to the elementary school. It's bigger than our normal project, so it's not, I guess we did by default plan ahead, so.
Yeah, but this down here's fairly flat. It should have been fairly simple to design.
I understand, yes.
But also, when's the quickest we could send that out for bid?
As ASAP, I mean,
Well, I mean, like January.
I mean, theoretically, we could send it out next month and say it's a spring project and go from there. We could send it out whenever we want to. Right now, they're not taking jobs for the fall. They're gonna push everything to next year anyways, so.
Right, I'm trying to get ahead so we get on
Yeah.
early enough in next year's schedule.
Yeah. No, we can send it out. In fact, that's the last email, was, how did I like the plans? So we can send them out. He didn't say when we're gonna send them out, but, it's ready to go to be sent out to contractors. And I think getting on their schedule is great. And on top of that, just for the ADA ramps, especially since it's a straight line, it's nothing to do with the engineering, but I have this idea to also include at least a notification to the property owners specifically who we could cite for a bad sidewalk to go, hey, now's the time, we got a contractor, we got a 50/50 program in here, take advantage of it. If you get on the contractor's list, that's one thing, but hey, we're trying to improve this, and that includes some of our FEMA lots that are along the way, that we can get taken care of. It'd be a great, improvement to a walking path, to the elementary school, that's for sure.
And I see we were awarded the C-Clip project for 77 South.
Yes, that's one of the other things I wanted to bring up. Yes, after the third time applying, third or fourth, I can't remember, lose track. They finally awarded us a grant to finish out South 10th Street, the rest of Highway 77 that's in city limits. From the north entrance of City Park to our responsibility at the bridge. And it's a C-CLIP, as you said, is a KDOT grant, and it's more than likely filled in with federal money. They normally give out $1 million plus match, and they minimum match is 5%. We never get the minimum because we always do a large project. And at the time we applied, it was $1.7 million project. It's 1.6 something, but so we were anticipating a $600,000 to $700,000 match. When they issued the award, they gave us a $1.25 million grant due to potential inflation along the way. Not potential.
Potential.
Not potential. Well, we still got potential because it's a fiscal year 2025 project.
True.
So they upped it by 25%, which was good. It was great. So we're looking at a $700,000 to $800,000. We don't have a firm estimate on the project, but I figure 7 to 8, if not 9, $100,000 project, or our match portion of it, and that replaces the existing highway, as well as the storm sewer that goes underneath and the sanitary sewer that goes on Jackson, I believe. There might be some improvements
While we're
down
at
there.
it, can we catch the one at the city park coming into it too?
Yeah. Oh, no, not the sanitary sewer, the main extension. We're not doing anything on Jackson. I think that's relatively new. continue to go down to the manhole, the
Okay.
next manhole for sanitary sewer. But yes, that's always been
Gas
an
lines or
improvement.
anything else that run along that?
Well, I mean, we'll leave that up to
We need to tell them.
yes, no, that's what I'm saying. We will tell them.
Hate putting a new street in and having someone cut into it within 3 weeks after we put it in.
We're
Yes.
probably gonna find more surprise stuff underneath like we did before.
Yeah.
Yeah, we found a lot of surprises last
Storm sewers we didn't know existed in that sort of
That's
thing.
why.
Yeah. No, they will be notified. In fact, they'll be probably a part of the planning process of this
We hope
project.
So there's going to still be that little strip of broken up asphalt that's KDOT responsibility before the bridge approach?
They have not confirmed that they're going to fix that.
Probably concrete it while this is going on. That would have.
I bring it up every single time we talk about this project. And in fact, the last time we talked about it is the biggest pushback
bad.
that I got.
It's worse than our part right now.
It's bad.
Yeah, there's about 50 foot up there, something like that.
Yeah.
It's
Nominal
not
amount,
much.
40
no.
some feet.
Yeah, no, that's a talk every time KDOT and us talk about this. And it will be a continued conversation, especially since they awarded us this project.
Because when they resurfaced 77 South the last time, they did not touch that stretch, correct?
Right.
They didn't.
Has it ever been resurfaced since that bridge was built,
Not that I can think of.
17 years ago?
Right.
They just up to there and, yeah.
Yes, it was great news to hear that, that we finally got that. They took forever to announce it. I think we applied in the spring sometime. They opened that up, and then they normally turn it around in June or July, and they took it all the way out to October. I think they were probably trying to push money around to make the projects better and do all that other stuff. I haven't seen a full list of projects that were approved, but yeah. That was the good news.
I think I saw the list, there's only a couple organizations or cities or counties that got more than what we, yeah, we did very well.
Yes. Yeah. We were even spread, that never happens. Here's more money. That never happens. So I was pleasantly surprised.
Okay. Anybody else have anything on street?
Have we heard anything about North Street and Hall Brothers?
I asked last week, and they were 2 to 3 weeks out.
Did we have a date on that of when it had to be
That
done
one-
by? I can't remember or not.
That one, I don't
And
think.
we discussed it on some of those projects.
It was discussed, I don't wanna do it when it's cold out, just because they don't have to do state projects. I don't want them doing a city project. State says it's gotta be above 50 degrees, it better be above 50 degrees if they're gonna do the city project too.
I can't remember. I know we did it on some of the concrete projects, but can't remember on that one.
One other thing,
Yeah.
who was it that was talking to us? Oh, at Civic Engagement Day at the high school. Sandy Wilson was very concerned with them tearing up 18th Street before the election.
They're only doing the intersection before then, and it'll be set up and ready to go.
Okay.
They
Which
assured us
they've
it'll be
ripped it out already.
Open and, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, it's
today.
gone.
It's gone. They did that today.
Today.
Yeah, they were setting up the barricades today and ripping it out. Yeah, after I expressed, well, they were supposed to start last Monday. They decided not to, which would have provided them a lot of time to get the whole project done, but whatever held them up, they couldn't start today, so they were taking the safe route and only doing that intersection to start with.
Speaking of that area, because I did have somebody ask me about this, because there are a couple businesses in that area, and there's quite a bit of traffic that goes up that road, but Temps has a roll-off there on that street.
On 17th.
Yeah, on 17th, and then a lot of times they'll have a truck or something parked there by it too, and, I mean, we've got a couple businesses there that are trying to get trucks and vehicles in and out, and it's kind of right in the way.
Well, from what I was told from the people at the car wash, that when 18th Street gets going, they have to open that alley up for access to the bank.
Right.
So the dumpster was in the alley and it was moved for that project.
Right.
Well,
Just telling you, there's no
I'm not
place-
sure how long, it's been there for a while though, hasn't it?
For 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks. That was the thing. We were anticipating the closing of 18th Street.
Yeah.
And so the bank was pretty happy with access to the alley so they could get their people through the drive-through and get their people to their parking spots. And then the contractor actually moved the fence out of the way and stopped parking so they could get out that access onto the highway.
Which is nice of them considering it's not a city alley.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
very nice of them.
It's not an alley.
Yeah.
State won't let us put it out front by the fence, so.
I'm bringing it up.
I know,
I mean, if I
I'm
was a
just-
business, I would probably be
Yeah.
a little bit upset about it too.
When the project's done, it's going back inside, so,
Okay.
or in the alleyways.
In the alley,
All right, anything else on street? Water and wastewater?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is. Up at Feldfield, we're gonna have the irrigation guy come up and look at that valve.
We need on Feldfield, we need to replace that valve.
Is that us or is that on the irrigation side?
It's us. It's been us.
It's us.
Yeah, that one that sits outside the fence.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've replaced that every single time it breaks. And so we are, once the new season comes, we temporarily made it so it didn't leak as much.
Oh,
But-
it's leaking like a sieve again.
Yeah, it's
It
leaking.
was Sunday.
Yeah.
Stopping a piece of insulation.
We
or
did,
a
I didn't,
barrel
we
was
didn't
not
want
up.
to, we didn't want to install a new piece and then it to freeze over the winter and have to do it again.
Okay,
So it's probably losing water right now, but
yeah, it is
it's,
quite a bit again.
yeah, but we're getting close. So there's a plan on that, so we just, we'll replace it before next, season.
Okay.
Just didn't want to have to, I think it's a $300, valve. We didn't want to pay another $300 on top of it.
And they just put the insulation on so it wouldn't freeze, because they couldn't blow them out yet, they didn't have time to blow them out yet. So, once we get it blown out, that should take care of that then. Yeah.
Okay. Anything else on water, wastewater? Parks and Rec? Cemetery and Airport? Police and Fire? Admin and Finance? There are no appointments. John, did you have anything for us?
A couple things. The tax foreclosures proceeding on course. I filed a motion for default judgment. Their time expired last Friday. So I filed it. Hearing date's on November 3rd, 8:45. Think we'll have it sold tax sale, if everything goes the way it's going now, sometime early September. Not September, December, excuse me. So.
Good deal.
And then, I would like 5 minutes, with the council to discuss litigation
No.
involving, Marysville, Country Club Lake.
Oh, okay.
Can I get a little bit with personnel at the same time?
I don't have a problem with that.
And John, not to be included in the executive session, but on the only thing that caught my eye on the new handbook for the city, the drug testing policy, the random versus a suspicious cause or safety sensitive, just something to think about. Because when you do random, it's supposed to be random. And if you have a reason for wanting to do something like that, then maybe we don't want to have that kind of policy in place. So just something to think about.
I think the random has to fall in there because the CDL drivers.
No, CDL drivers, they get random, but you have an entire city staff too. And if you don't want to just tie it down to that.
I know.
Because if you do random on the drivers, technically you should be doing random on all city employees, in my experience. Just something to think about, that's all I'm saying.
No, and I agree with you, Jeff. I'm saying is I think the random has to be, you have to have the wording because of the CDLs.
Well, it doesn't.
And I agree that all staff needs to be having. I agree with you there. I'm not arguing that. I think it's wording to get you out of trouble more than anything else.
And the CDL thing you can handle through DOT separately, but for employees, I get nervous about saying random for all employees.
We are going to, at KMIT's advice, they told us if we would go to safety-sensitive positions, those people then can be in the random pool for the same reason. We used to have all the employees in, and then they took the employees out, saying we couldn't do that anymore, it wasn't legal.
Mm-hmm.
So we are writing into job descriptions, if you're safety-sensitive, which obviously people with knowledge of our accounting would be us, and people that are in the police department would be that. I mean, there's
Well, anybody that puts themselves in the line of fire, meaning
or
you're in a pit.
Oh, I get it, driving any of our
Cutting
equipment.
trees, so yeah. I'm just bringing that up before we go into this.
We were
session.
trying to use wording
Just something to think about.
for KMIT, from KMIT.
Yeah, we're using legal advice when we do that, yes.
But thank you.
Now we're going.
Yeah.
I move the city council recess into executive session for consultation with the attorney on matters deemed privileged, attorney-client relationship about litigation or claims against the city to KSA 75-4319B, paragraph 2. I'm also on personnel, discussion of personnel matters of non-elected personnel, discussion on specific personnel matters, not general personnel policy exception, KSA 75-4319B1. This meeting will include the mayor, city council, city administrator, and city attorney. We will resume back at 8:15. 8:15.
8:15.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Remember, we needed a second, so.
I don't know if he turned off the live stream.
I'll ask him.
Yeah, ask him, please.
Tell him it's just getting ready.
I said, buddy, you have no idea.
How long do you have it?
Until June.
Oh, it's gonna be a rough year for somebody.
Especially if the wind blows like it did the other day. Whoa, and it's
explained is,
two.
he said, I wanna see snow.
And you.
No, you
There's
don't.
a big
You'll
difference
see
between
that.
seeing it and living it.
Or a half inch and 14 degrees and wind.
Calls meeting back to order, no binding decisions were made, continue, the meeting as scheduled. This roundtable. Todd?
So, is it the consensus of the council, we're gonna keep pushing on the plumber as far as getting the Kester house heated?
And
Stat?
I think we need to push. I think we need to get a deadline from him. And then I think we need to be prepared to put some sort of alternative in there. Even if it's one-room heaters, just so we don't lose the building any worse.
The other thing was, refresh my memory on our agreement with our tree folks as far as downtown trees. I know we lost one, speaking of the Kester block, we lost that one in front of, the Kester block during the windstorm. I was noticing it during the Black Squirrel Fest. Do we have a plan to replace that? Is that, I mean, I know we're not gonna do it right now. Don't get me wrong.
No, yeah, we have a plan to replace that. It's,
Do we have any other trees at the same time that are failing that need?
that's kind of the plan, is to couple it up with some other trees so we can not have, just order one. Yeah, there's a plan, just, I mean, we got plenty of trees to order. We can see if we can attach it onto one of the other orders. I don't know if we've started ordering trees, because we have some that need to be replaced around the cemetery and all that
Right,
stuff, so.
right.
To get them cut out first.
Yeah, and we have to remove a lot of other things. I think we get some of the other tree stuff done and then start planting trees.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also on the subject of trees, when we went down for the tree dedication at the dog park, it was noted there's quite a bit of tree fall in and around the
there is.
bridge to the dog park and in that,
And a
stream
stairway
bed
down
through
in
there.
the creek bed and.
There's a lot of trees that are just barely hanging on. I haven't gone down there today to see if any of them fell yesterday, but that would have been the time.
I know.
Made it, yeah.
Unbelievable. But they're kind of holding each other up like a, house of cards. So I don't know if that's something where we need to have that contracted or how we get
Definitely.
it out.
Yeah, definitely. We would have to get somebody with large enough equipment to move trees around.
And there's that staircase in the creek bed there as well. So probably the same equipment could be used for both
Yeah.
purposes. So, I mean, I don't know if that's, I guess it can wait till spring. It's not causing any damage, but I could definitely see,
Could use some.
it'd be
cleaning
especially
up.
bad if one of those trees fell on a fence or on a bridge or on a person.
Right.
What's the ETA on our electric charging station?
There's been an order placed to rearrange the panel over in the Pony Park. Hanover Electric has ordered the equipment to get it done, and once he gets that in, it's ready to go, other than I send a message to LilyPad to come in and finish the job.
Anything else?
Yep.
Jeff?
The only thing I have is, several months back, we talked about the kiosks at the cemetery, and improving it. The suggestion was maybe to reach out to the members that put the kiosks in for the veterans there, and maybe mirror what they did. They were very happy with the results and the timeliness of that individual doing that project, so that's all I have. In trees, we ought to have a spot we can just plant trees, let them grow for a while, and then just have somebody move them. Start working with K-State and just bring them up, and they're cheap. Might take 5-10 years to have decent trees to move different places, but if we have a spot that has some good soil, maybe on some FEMA land, or maybe we can at least put trees and water on it.
Real cheap when you're buying it about this size.
Well, but you might be surprised, there might be some people that are willing to kind of help
Why not?
push that kind of project. It'd be a good way to really start putting some trees out there, so that's all I have.
I have a question on this.
Yes.
Like, why do we still have stuff not done since May?
Procrastination.
Yes.
I don't.
Just wondering.
I don't look at it.
And requested more time, May 10th.
Yeah.
We're still in more time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed a couple on there that said that they've
Yeah.
been cleaned up, and I might disagree with that assessment of a couple of them.
But yeah, I feel like May, it's going back quite a bit.
Okay, I can have them readdress
Yeah.
the whole list, just to make sure.
This guy asked to be put on he has a drop dead date of next meeting, and he asked to be put on there. I think that's Josh Ingram, somebody gave us, that asked. He has a half-built truck that our policy says, I think, 30 days, and if you're gonna fix something, you get 30 days to fix it, otherwise it's gotta move. And I think he asked to be on the agenda next agenda. But otherwise, I don't know anything about the rest of these.
That's all.
All right, nothing. Kyle?
Although I wasn't here, I just would like to say thank you to all the crews and all the volunteers, all the entities that helped with Saturday. Looked like it was a very popular, very successful event, so thank you.
Pardon? Nothing. Colleen? Kevin?
Just want to reiterate what Kyle said. It's a great weekend, a lot of people downtown, a lot of businesses open, lots of people in town. Some I hadn't seen, some I had seen, so.
It's a beautiful day, too.
Yeah, it was a nice day.
Absolutely beautiful out.
You never know what it's gonna be.
No, you don't.
No, you never do.
That's all I have, sir.
It's a really good day when you're serving homemade ice cream.
Yeah.
I probably should have brought it up earlier, but I forgot about it. Planning Commission met and they discussed storage containers. I wasn't at the meeting, but my understanding is I think they kind of got off in the weeds like we kind of do by discussing a lot of different things about it. I think that they kind of put it off until they get, I think, more members, more people that were on the committee. I think there was only like 5 of them there that night or something. Somebody did bring up to me that they thought maybe somebody from council could maybe go to the meeting and kind of explain to them what the council's thoughts are. And my only problem with that is I've got 8 council members, and I don't think anybody is exactly thinking the exact same thing on them, so I don't know how it's going to work either. What do we want to do, I guess?
Like an ad hoc committee? I mean, you could get at least
Something, I mean, we
multiple
need to gel around something, maybe to kind of give them a little bit more guidance, I think.
Well, their original stance from the last 2 times it's been sent to them was they don't want it.
Yeah, I don't
So
think
they're at
fans
they're at the stance of, we don't even want to deal with this, but I basically gave the instruction that that's not an option anymore. It's you tell us how you see this needs to go.
Yeah.
So they're kind of standoffish. Let's just say
Yeah,
that.
They just
I
want
go-
general consensus from the council for guidance.
We want them painted, we want them to look nice, we want them to fit in.
Yep.
Can you just give them I was gonna say the tape, because that's funny, but give them the snip of the last discussion the council had, and there they go. They've got everyone's opinions, I think.
They got a lot of,
Well,
Yeah.
if I'm like Kevin, if I remember right, it's painted, it's fit in, it's put a roof on it. It's,
On a pad,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
or
got,
some sort of
gotta be,
solid surface.
gotta be on a foundation of some
Foundational
sort.
surface,
Bolted in or
blocks
however,
or
whatever,
rocks, whatever, but
No, they cannot be painted obscene color. It's gotta be kinda like the color palette that fits in,
Blend in with her
you know.
existing
I don't care if they're an obscene color, whatever that is, as long as they're one solid color.
I will say this from experience with mine, because when I got mine, I painted it and thought, oh, here we go. I probably should have taken the vinyl lettering off. I don't really want to take the vinyl lettering off, but it is peeling and, no. Well, it caused, I don't know if it's the heat or what, or chemical reaction, but the vinyl lettering and everything is peeling paint at all and just kind of rolling. It'll be a lot easier to remove now, but I don't know why I did it, because it's kind of in the shade. I mean, it shouldn't really be getting that much on that side. So I don't know if it's a chemical thing, or if it just a vinyl, because it ages, just kind of does that, but it doesn't look as, I mean, the paint's still great, and then the letters are not looking good. So, not that I really want to tell people to peel the lettering off of it, because I've done a little bit of that on a service truck years ago, and a little spot's not fun, so I can only imagine the entire side of a container.
Yeah, you're better off just priming it, painting it, hoping for the best.
Probably heat gun it,
Yeah.
and scrape, but that's how I kind of did it on my service truck years ago, my old one.
Or just burn it off.
That might work too.
Time for Australia, this stuff shouldn't have fit in there. We had to cut the top header out, get it in there, and then weld the header back in, and then paint it.
Those suckers are on their own.
Yeah, we thought, well, those Aussies can figure it out.
Aussies have saws.
But that's, I guess, I don't know how council wants to handle it from here on out. Like you're saying, I don't know if it's an ad hoc, but I think they want something concrete, kind of what.
Parker, can Parker write down what he just said and send it in an email? I mean, what are you looking for?
That's pretty much the gist of everything we talked about.
I think so.
I mean, that covers everything.
That's the skeleton, and they can build it out.
So paint.
So paint,
Yeah.
foundation, roof.
Foundation.
Paint, roof, foundation.
Or some way to secure it.
And
No gas.
I think one of the things we did kind of put on there is a reasonable timeline.
To get it done. Yeah, you
Yeah.
gotta get it done.
Yeah, so it's not, and I think on that situation, I don't think, my opinion, I would say 90 days is reasonable in my opinion.
Should be in anybody's opinion.
Because you could put the foundation in
Yeah,
before,
before
and
you
that's
got
not
there.
considered part of the project.
Right.
Right, and
It's the putting it down, getting it painted and all that.
Once it shows up, down it goes.
Right.
yeah, I mean,
They have size requirements, utility requirements.
Not in the container.
that's where we need a little,
They need to figure that out, okay?
because part of that is, I believe we talked about having a building permit, so we know where they're at.
Yep.
And so part of that's gonna fall on if it can fit on your lot.
So zoning size, or lot size plays a
Well,
part.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do, I'm just.
You can't go build a
Right.
40 by 60 shed on a lot that can only hold a 20 by 30.
Okay.
So, I don't know how many are gonna pop up. I think we're gonna have 2 people that are gonna go with it, and I think it's gonna dwindle off very quickly. Is what I think it is.
And frankly, that's part of why I think we need to have this in place, because otherwise we're just basically blocking 2 people. I mean,
Well, I could see a lot of the small ones. What are they, Jeff, like 20?
20s.
20s.
20 is the smallest, or is there?
40s. That's
Is
all
there-
you're gonna find around here.
Okay.
You
so
can't afford the rest of them.
I think the 20s is, you could see a lot of, that turned into a lot of little sheds.
Or it's size of a vehicle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those are the instructions.
All right. That's all I had.
Okay.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All right. All in favor, say aye.